Happy Sunday, everyone. I am so glad you are joining me for Sunday night Stampin' with Kim Dent. If you're new to my group or to my YouTube channel, my name is Kim Dent. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I live in Maryland Heights, Missouri. I've been a demonstrator for 20 years. And I love sharing my love of card making and Stampin' Up with all of you. Hello, Jan. Thanks for tuning in. If you're joining, please comment and let me know you're here. Sometimes Facebook does not let me know that you're joining, but if you comment, then I can say hi to you. So just say hi when you pop in. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Gail. Oh my goodness. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Have you all had a good weekend? It's kind of quiet without no Cardinals. It was not the way we wanted. The Cardinal fans did not get the outcome that we wanted, did we? Did we, Jan and Gail? Hi, Nan. Hi, Terry. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I hope you have had a great weekend. Yeah, definitely sad face with a little tear. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Mona. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Well, let me get my laptop synced with my phone, my camera, and we will get started. What have you all been doing this weekend? Hey, Lisa. Thanks for tuning in tonight. All the way from Texas. We've got Lisa from Texas, and we've got Jan in California. And once again, I sound like Miss Lois from Romper Room. Hello, Mr. Dent. Hello, Mary. How are you? Oh, Mary, those cards that you have been making, gorgeous, gorgeous. With that new bundle. So I don't have mine yet, but as soon as I do, I'll be telling all my friends about, there's a sneak peek preview bundle that just came out. The demonstrators were able to order it this week, and it is so beautiful. And my friend Mary has been doing scrapbook pages as well as some beautiful cards. I can't wait for you to share it either, Mary. You got some great compliments, I know, on some of the, was it Stampin' Up Showcase that you posted? So beautiful. I was on the fence about getting the bundle, and now I'm like, I've got to have it. Hey, Lynn, how are you? How was the family reunion? Good, I hope. I know I was thinking about your, what did you call them, party potatoes? I love those things. Let me see, hold on. I talk too much, don't I? Well, for those of you in Maryland Heights or the St. Louis area, I had my big stamp classes this weekend, and they went really well, really smooth. I know that some of you were hoping, well, you know, guess what? Facebook is not cooperating. I know some of you who are tuning in tonight were unable to come to stamp classes. So I'm going to show you all of the cards that we made this weekend. Hi, Mom. Oh, thanks, Valerie. So if you are in the St. Louis area, or I have some customers come from Illinois also, I have stamp classes. I started back in August with in-person classes, and yeah, August, September, October, so this was our third month. November, I am having my stamp classes on November 5th and 6th. So if you're in my area and you would like to come and stamp with us, I would love to have you contact me. The classes take about 3 hours. We make 5 cards. Everything is cut and organized. You do the stamping and assembling. It's a lot of fun. It's a great evening because we do it on Friday night or Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. So November 5th, starts at 6 p.m. The location is Zion Lutheran Church. We're located right off of 270, and it's where we stamp is the lower level of Zion Lutheran Church, which is in our coffee shop and fellowship hall, which is called Higher Grounds. And I know if any of you have been following me for any amount of time, you've seen me share my post about our fantastic coffee shop. I work upstairs, and every day the pastor and I say, you know, we cannot believe we get to taste these delicious drinks, all sorts of delicious drinks and tasty treats. So also, if you're in the area and you want to try out coffee or tea or smoothies or some home baked goods, please stop by. It's 12075 Dorset Road in Maryland Heights, Missouri. So, okay, guess what? I think I've got it. I think we're almost there. I just have to turn the sound off. Okay. So every week I ask my Stampin' friends who tune in to my weekly Facebook Lives if they would be so kind to like, comment, and share the weekly video. I also ask you to invite your crafty friends to my Facebook group, or if you've watched me now on the Stamping with Kim Dent YouTube channel, I also ask you to hit the subscribe button or subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you know that when I post a video that you'll see what I'm making recently. So that's going really well also. Oh, Valerie, yes, I will let her know about sharing. I'm not sure she's on Facebook yet, so, but I think her mom and dad occasionally show her the videos. We have a new stamper on Saturday mornings, and she is just a sweetheart, and she has enjoyed stamping with Valerie. And a couple other of my friends, Claudia and Jill. She stamped with Sandy. So, yeah, I know she would like watching these. So thank you. Thanks, Valerie, for thinking of her. Okay, so I do a drawing every week, and what it is, for the winner, she or he will receive the 2 cards that I made the previous week. So these are my 2 cards from last week. Oh, and there's a glare. Do you see it? It really, really is a lot prettier in person. It's embossed, and it's with the stamp, background stamp, Wild Rose. The light is just there. I think that's good. The stamp is Wild Roses, and it's a great big background stamp, and we just stamped it with Versamark, threw some clear embossing powder over it, heated it up, and I think it looks like velvet almost, but it's got a little shine to it. And then this congratulations, I embossed in white. That congratulations, I'm trying to tell my friends, think outside the box. This beautiful congratulations is from a grandkid, the stamp set A Grandkid. And I don't have any grandchildren. I hope to one day, but I started looking outside the box. A very smart demonstrator said, Kim, you've got to look at those stamp sets that we carry. Look at them for the words that are in them, not necessarily for what they're called or what the name of the stamp set is called. And I did that, and that's how I got this pretty congratulations, and it just pops. And for the first time, I did a little fussy cutting, which I didn't think I could do, and it's so easy, just like my friends have been telling me, Kim, you can do that. If you can cut out an image, you can cut out around a font or a stamp that has a fancy font, lots of curlicues, but it's stamped, or it's cut out, it's basic black, and then I embossed in white. So, and then this beautiful silver foil that is, there's 3 different types, and this is in the mini catalog. It looks like it has a purple cast, but it is really like more silvery when you see it in person. So love this card. And then on the inside, I had, oh, and I can't remember. It's the stamp set with the cherry blossoms, and it says, wishing you a long life together filled with love and promise. Can you guess who this card is going to go to? I hope to give this to my daughter and soon-to-be son-in-law in December. So this will be on the gift. So I hope you like it. And the second card, this one was fun to do also, even with the blob, which my friends, I had a couple friends who came to stamp class this weekend, and they were like, Kim, we liked it because what I did was I was using the blending brushes on them, one of these, and I embossed a couple of different colors. And I was saying, now don't forget when you're using the blending brush, you put the blending brush in your ink pad, and then always swirl off on your grid paper or your scrap paper. Otherwise, you're going to get a blob right there. But my friends were saying that looks like a sunset. So this is from the stamp set is from Welcoming Woods, and it's just layered on top of gold foil and Mossy Meadow, which is so pretty. And then the Happy Birthday embossed in gold. Those are, do you see those Mossy Meadow rhinestones? They are actually regular rhinestones that I took my Mossy Meadow blend, which I love, all the blends, and colored it, and it coordinates with the cardstock and the card. So the winner is also going to receive, oh good, let's see. The winner is also going to receive this embossing folder, which is so sweet. It's the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. Brand new. Or no, it's not brand new. We've had it for a while, but it was brand new to me just recently. So I liked it so much, I bought two. And so I'm going to give one away to the winner. So drum roll. And let me see. Here it is. Thought I lost it. Drum roll, please. The winner of tonight's drawing is, and she's watching, Shirley. Da, 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 da. Shirley, you're the winner. So you're going to get that pretty black card, the Wild Roses embossed card, as well as the Welcoming Woods. And a brand new embossing folder is coming your way. If you already have Ornate Floral, Shirley, just let me know, and I will trade it out for another one. So, yay, congrats. All right, I am going to take my camera, my phone camera, and I'm gonna flip it. So hold on tight. And hold on, I pulled my big light over. I know some of you have said it's a little dark occasionally when I'm stamping, and you wish it was a little brighter. So I'm trying something new tonight. So you can let me know if it looks brighter. It's taking me. Oh yeah, I think it is looking a little brighter there. So I got to remember to do this every week. Okay, tonight's card is with this one. Oh, and I'm going to pull this over. Oh, got to move this out of the way. Can you see it? Oh my goodness. How adorable. If I don't say so myself, this little penguin is from the stamp set Count on Me, which I've used before. I'm trying to think. I know I've done a card with the bear. This little Count on Me stamp set is new to the catalog. It's in the annual catalog. It's got the penguin that we're going to use tonight, a kangaroo, a little fox, a koala, little sweet koalas, the bear with the heart, and I believe I was told this weekend this is a kiwi bird. Hey, Paula. And, you know, I told this at my classes this weekend. When I saw it in the catalog, I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why would they put this silly little bird in one of our stamp sets. And then it dawned on me that, you know, Stampin' Up! Is a global company, and we have a huge, demonstratorship in the South Pacific. And this little bird, as well as these koalas and the kangaroo, that's native to their area. So I have to sometimes remind myself, hey, it's not just about, you know, those of us in North America. We are a global company. So I chose the little penguin, and I have to tell you that I saw this idea. I modified it a little bit. But I saw this idea with this little penguin floating up into the clouds on Pinterest, of course. And I just thought, I'm going to go with it. I thought it was so stinking cute. So what we're going to do, let me pull up my little kit. We're going to use a real red card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11. Scored at 5 1/2. And then we're going to take a, this is your inside. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And really, anytime I use, pretty much almost 99.9% of the time, I always use Whisper White or Very Vanilla, depending on the colors on the outside of the card. I use this for an insert unless it's a card base that is white, basic white, or very vanilla. So this size, it can vary. This one is 4 by 5 1/4. I sometimes use 3 3/4 by 5. Hello, Brenda. Thanks for tuning in. All right, the next layer. This is Balmy Blue. I don't use this very often, but isn't it pretty? 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm setting these up so you all can take a screenshot if you would like to copy it. This pretty DSP is from the Hostess set, Hostess Rewards. You can choose it. It's in the annual catalog. It's an amazing pack of paper. It's 12 by 12, huge, and it has bright colors on one side, all different patterns. It's called Pattern Play. And then on the opposite side, they're all black and white, different patterns. So we're going to use 1 1/2 by 5 7/8. And the reason I started doing the 5 7/8 is if I would cut this at, let's see, 5 1/2, sometimes depending on how my scoring would go, it just would hang off a little, and then I'd have to trim it, and then I'd be unhappy because it would be uneven. So that's where I came up with just a hair shorter. So that's the 5 and 1 1/2 by 5 7/8. That's a little tip for you if that makes you crazy, like it does me. And then we're going to stamp on. This is basic white, 2 1/2 by 4. And this is really scraps. This little piece that I stamped my little penguin on is basic white. It's 2 by 2. And then 2 pieces of 2 1/4 by 2. And the reason I have 2, this is for the 2 clouds. So there's that. I'm going to set this down so you can take a screenshot of it, because I know you all, hi CJ, I know you all have been saying to me how much you appreciate that. So there you go, measurements and card kit. I'm gonna set these to the side, and you are gonna see some new tips and tricks from me tonight, stamping tips and tricks. I'm gonna pull in my Memento black, and I'm gonna take that little 2 by 2 square, I can find it. Oh my goodness, where'd it go? Here it is. Here it is. 2 by 2. I try every week, girls, to be so organized. I really do. And I'm taking there's the little penguin on the balloon with the balloon in his hand. I guess it's a he. I'm going to call it a he. Stamp it. and I'm coloring with the blends. And I'm going to try to go quick because sometimes I think it bores you guys to watch me color, but sometimes for those of you who are getting interested in the blends, I just want you to see how easy it is to color with them, and oh, do I love it. How many of you like coloring with your blends? Give me a thumbs up or a like. We're using, this is dark pumpkin pie. I'm going to color in his little feet as well as his beak. Yay, yay for the thumbs up. Thank you. I had a customer at my class. She was like, I wish they would come out with more colors. And I'm like, oh, me too. This one is Light Poppy Parade. Did you see that fly just go by? Oh my goodness. This afternoon I've had this fly making me crazy down here. Can't get him. Okay, this is, oh, and of course he's gonna, keeping it real, he's gonna land right where I'm stamping. Okay, Poppy Parade Light. Then I'm gonna take just a little smidge. Now, if you're brand new to blends, the beauty of the blends is you can add dimension to it. Do you see how I'm doing that? Just a little outline on one side and the other, kind of creating a shadow. That's with the dark Poppy Parade. Hello, Miss Penny. And then I'm going to go back over with my light Poppy Parade and just blend in those edges ever so lightly. I might even keep like a little in the middle. It doesn't have any extra on it, but you can kind of see where it's lighter in the middle. That's with only one layer of the Poppy Parade. Now here's where it kind of gets a little tricky. And that's why I have my color lifter here. So this one, the white tipped one, has the brush tip as well as the nubby end on it. This is kind of like, it's what it says, it's a color lifter. And so I don't want to say color, it kind of can erase a little bit. So we'll see if I can stay in the lines without making too much of, let's see how I do it. Now, oh, this is one thing I want to share with you. So it's an alcohol blend. So that means that when you touch this, and I've got, these are brand new. So can you see it's got a nice fine point on it? I always love it when they're brand new. When you touch the blends to the cardstock, they bleed. You almost have to like, especially, can you see these teeny tiny areas that I'm going into? It's like I'm just barely touching the tip of that brush tip end to the little penguin. It's a tiny little thing. So I'm going to be really careful. And I'm doing pretty good so far. Do you love him? I think this is definitely a card, that would be adorable for a kid, but I know this little thing is so cute, this little penguin. He would brighten anyone's day. So you could make this like a get well or a happy birthday. You could do a thinking of you. We all love to get handmade cards in the mail. So think of it like that. It's not necessarily a kid card. Okay, what do you think? Is he stinking cute or what? So didn't need to use the color lifter, but if I did, I want to tell you that the smart way to do it is you're not, when you do it, you kind of have to think of just lifting color. And so if I would have gone outside the lines, I should have done it on purpose. I would just gently take this color lifter and try to pull that pigment back into the line. Does that make sense? You can also use this to lift color, like if I wanted to, here, let's see if we can see it on this black. Oh, there, it is working real well. Say I wanted to shave that black just a little bit, maybe a little on his hands. This will lift color. So it's not necessarily for boo-boos, which is a fun thing. But there you go. I'm hoping my camera will pick it up. You can see right there and on his hands where it's just lifted up the color lit and made it a little bit lighter. Now the next fun part that I'm going to do, which you've seen me do it before, but I decided to add it to this one. We did it in class this weekend. This is packing tape, and we're going to add it on top of the penguin. You know the hardest part about this? Oh, thanks, Shirley. The hardest part about this crazy stuff is getting it not to flip over, you know. I had to like get a whole tutorial this weekend, and I'm still not sure I'm doing it right. But the packing tape, you can, you know, cheap packing tape does the job. All I need to do is I'm putting this over the little penguin just to add a little bit of glossy and shine to it. And then I'm going to take my paper snips. These things are fantastic. Little pointy end. Gail Brock, I know. I should have Gail Brock do a demonstration some night. She's the queen of cutting. So good. So you'll notice, I always try to remind you all, you want to not cut directly on the image. You want to go just a hair outside of it. And it's kind of, sometimes, like with this teeny little image, I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. I have had more people say to me, I wish I would have known this a long time ago, Kim. What it does when you cut right on the image, and if you would, you know, cut in too closely, it makes the image like look imperfect. I guess that's the only way I use word I know to describe it. But when you go slightly outside of the image, you if you make a mistake or you're not cutting, I don't know, is that the right way to say it? If you go outside of the line by just a hair, it just looks a little bit better. We'll put it like that. There you go. And now, hold on, we're gonna set that to the side. The next piece I'm gonna bring in is my 2.5 by 4. And I'm gonna bring in my balmy blue. And let's see if I can do this without making a big blob. Okay, balmy blue ink. This is how I prefer to use the blending brushes. If you didn't watch last week, go back and look at it because you'll really see more of a demonstration on how to blend colors. Today we're just going to use one color, and I hold it like this with my finger pointed out. You can also, these are bristles, it's not a sponge, so it just makes blending really easy. If I said my goal would be to have one of every Stampin' Up color, one brush for every Stampin' Up color. But since I don't, I will rinse this out and then let it dry and use it the next time, you know, for a totally different color. So it'll stain the bristles, but it's fine to use in different colors. So here we go. We're gonna make a little sky tone. So I'm gonna take this. Oh, and I think I've got, so my ink pad from using them this weekend, they're a little dry. So here we, oh, look at that. Flip it over. Thank goodness for two sides. Okay, and I'm just gonna start giving this ever so slight, and you can see I'm building up the color. So if I wanted, I could have different tones. I could have added like a little misty moonlight. That's all I'm gonna do right there. It's you can barely see it, but it just it's gonna be a background for our little clouds. And I finally, I started watching Bob Ross, and now when I talk, sometimes I think, do I sound tiny, pretty little trees and tiny little clouds. This die is from the die set Majestic Mountains. That is in our annual catalog. It's like a nature set, and I knew I wanted clouds for the little penguin to be floating up into. found my cloud in Majestic Mountains. So that's another thing. Think outside the box when you're looking at the dies, girls. You know, you don't have to use use the dies with the sets that the stamp sets they coordinate with. Isn't it crazy? It's taken me this long to figure that out. Okay, I have already cut out with my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine 2 dies, or 2 clouds, sorry. I wanted you to know, this helped this weekend because we had many stampers, that you can, with this particular die anyway, you can cut through 2 pieces at one time. So that's a little time saver for the dies. So, and I just thought I'm going to try it. Now, you never want to force it, or if it looks like it's not going to go or not going to work. Intricate dies, you probably will not be able to do that. But with plain, like little shapes like this, try cutting 2 pieces of cardstock at one time if you're making multiple cards. Okay, the next thing we did was we took our little daubers, they're called. They're in the back of the annual catalog. And I just added just a little bit of shading. Could go all the way around if you want it. Just to make those clouds pop a little bit. And let's set this aside. The last thing I'm going to stamp on this is, oh, here we go. Do you remember me talking about this last week? Pulled back in my stamp set, A Grandkid, and just because I am not a grandma, I talked about this earlier. Look at the words. You are so loved, so proud of you, happy birthday. This fun font looks like it goes with the little penguin. So start looking at your stamp sets in different ways, and I bet you'll find a dozen different ways to use them. We're going to pull in Poppy Parade. And I'm going to ink it up. I'm actually going to test it out to make sure it's on this. Oh, and it's a little light. I'm going to really ink it up. So whenever I buy ink pads, do all of you do this? I usually want to make sure that pretty quickly I get the re-inker that goes with that ink pad. It's just one thing. There's nothing worse than like being in the middle of stamping, like, you know, 20 Christmas cards, and you're using real red. Oh, and you're using real red, and all of a sudden it goes dry, and there's nothing worse than that. You cannot get a good image, and it's because your ink pad is dried out. So I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this first one, and I'm putting it down with just a little bit of Stampin' Seal. And then my second one, did you see me grab the dimensional? I'm going to grab, I think, was it Brenda last week you said, I misread, I think I didn't understand when I was reading quickly. You said you need to have stock in it, and I thought you meant like I always have stock in dimensional, in a good stock, a good amount of dimensionals, but you're right. I should get a cut from Stampin' Up. But you know what? I know there are a lot of demonstrators that are the same way as me. We love our dimensionals, and I know a lot of you do too. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shiny little penguin, and I'm going to add, did you see I used regular dimensionals, and then I pulled in my mini dimensionals, and this is a good, I don't have my take your pick tool next to me tonight. It's in with all of my supplies. So last week I talked about how nice it was to use the take your pick tool to pop them off the paper and then stick the pokey side in and pop off the stickers, or the label side. I guess we'll call that the label side. But see how nicely, and if you don't have many dimensionals, also you'll see me from time to time, I will take, and I just take my the edge. So don't forget on your dimensionals, you never want to throw away, like if all this is used up, you never want to throw away, because look, those are dimensionals too, and you can take those and cut them in half and use those for skinny little images like this if you don't have your mini dimensionals handy. There he goes. He's gonna get put down on the balmy blue. And the balmy blue, of course, has to have dimensionals. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Vicki, you're right. It's a lot easier to do. Oh, you do not have fat fingers. But sometimes, you know, our fingers don't work. Arthritis, a lot of times, that's another one. Oh, okay, I'm pulling in my real red, and I'm going to take my sweet little piece of Pattern Play DSP. Love this stuff. You have to have a $150 order. You could put, you know, if you say to your girlfriends, hey, I want to put an order in, I need some supplies, and then they can add to it. When you hit $150, then you can order the Pattern Play DSP or many of our other Hostess stamp sets. They're usually found in the back of each of the catalogs. So right now, in the back of the mini catalog, that adorable little children's set, and then there's a beautiful amaryllis flower. All right, first card done. I hope you like it. Oh, thanks, Vicki. Yeah, he's sweet. He's sweet. Next time I want to try to do one with the koala. Okay, the next card I'm making is a gatefold card. This one is done with the stamp set, A Christmas Season. And, oh my goodness, hold on, I'm gonna get him. Holly Jolly Wishes is where this beautiful Merry Christmas comes from. And, oh, look at that. A little bit of Evening Evergreen on here, Shaded Spruce. This is the piece we're going to use from, the stamp we're going to use from Christmas Season. And then these sweet words, both of these are in the mini catalog, which will be going away at the end of December. So get yours soon. Here's another version of it that has the Christmas Season DSP. So look how both patterns look really pretty. It's a 12 by 12 pack. It's in the Christmas Season suite. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about generation stamping. But first I want to show you the kit. So the kit is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8 on both sides. This was kind of the first fancy fold, I guess you would call it, fancy fold stamp, fancy fold that I learned, card that I learned how to make. You're going to use a 4 by 5 1/4, 2.5 by 4, 2 pieces of 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Here's the flip side of this. Isn't that pretty? Just really pale, I guess that's soft seafoam probably. It's got holly berries on it, so that's really pretty. This one is more bold and it popped a little bit more. Then the piece we're going to stamp on is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to let you move this out of the way. Oh, and I'm thinking you cannot even see. Ooh, sorry. Can't even see that. Sorry about that, girls. I just wobbled the camera. There we go. So how many of you have a scoreboard? Can you comment? I do. I use it all of the time. And sometimes when sometimes when I talk about it, I think you all get kind of, sometimes, well, and new stampers will get intimidated by it. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Here's just a quick little demonstration on how easy it is to make this card. So I'm going to take, this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to pull in my trimmer. This just a little bit. You look good. Yay. I know, I do. I also love this. So I'm going to take this full sheet of cardstock, real red. See if I can get it in the camera. And I am going to push the cardstock up to 5.5, which is right here. Right there. So there's this one, the lighter one, that's my scoring blade, and then this is the cutter. Cut that right in half. So you're gonna get 2 cards out of 1 sheet. I'm gonna set my cutter aside. Here's where my scoreboard comes in. This is in the back of the catalog. I love mine. I actually have 2. And, oh, let's look up again. Oh, diagonal, that would be very cool. Also, we used to sell, I think, different plates for these, but we don't anymore. Okay, so over here on the left-hand side, I've got a ruler going all the way across the top. Right here is 2 1/8. Now what I do is I flip it, and another 2 1/8. So you could say score it at 2 1/8, or score it at, let's see what that is, 6, I gotta hold it up, sorry girls, my eyeballs, 6 7/8. Should have done this earlier. Yeah, 7/16. I think that's right. Sorry, I think it is 7/16. So that's why you see me flipping it 2 1/8 and then flipping it around and going 2 1/8. So that is how easy it is. You've got a stylus with a fat tip and a pointy one. Typically, you'll see me if I'm scoring DSP, I'll use this wide tip end, and then cardstock, the finer, the smaller one, smaller tip. You do that because DSP is thinner, usually. And if you press too hard, it will go all the way through, and then you'll ruin your DSP. So then I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to give it a nice clean, 2 1/8, score from both ends. Thank you. That's right. Okay, that's the start of your fancy fold. And then the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' Seal, and I'm gonna bring in the DSP. And on this one, I did kind of pay attention to the direction. Even though it looks like it's going like all over the place, I kind of wanted it to look like they were both going in the same direction. So pay attention if you've got a pattern to your panels, whether it's a Christmas card or just a regular, any kind of card. Pay attention to the direction of the pattern. All right, then I'm gonna bring in my 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm looking for my Pierce mat and my grid paper. Here we go. And we're going to use real red and shaded spruce. Sorry, girls. I'm bending down, that's why. I'm going to use shaded spruce first with the pine bough. I guess it's a pine bough. I'm going to call it that. And we're going to do generation stamping, which means I'm going to stamp full strength in the corner, and I'm not going to ink it up again, and then I'm going to press down and press down. So it gives the illusion of like being this darker one is in front of the two, the second and the third one. So I'm going to do the same thing. One in the corner, one on top, and one to the side. Ta-da! I'm going to close this up because you know what's going to happen. Oh, it'll end up green fingers someplace. Green fingers are up. Oh, you can see it right there a little bit. And I'm going to take the Merry Christmas to You. So this is something I shared this weekend. When I first started stamping, I would just plop my cardstock down like that. And then I would ink up my stamp. And when I stamped, I like wouldn't pay attention. I'm exaggerating, but the tip is if you want to get something straight, like this Merry Christmas to You, line up your cardstock with the grid. This is why I love our grid paper. This is actually for the Stamparatus. You can buy extra packs of it, or our regular grid paper. I have finally, I think, started convincing my stampers it's an important tool to have because it helps you line up your stamps, and it's easier to get them straight. So there's your Merry Christmas. And oh, we do need it one more time. So on my 4 by 5 1/4, we're going to stamp the inside verse. And here it is. It's a great big one. This is from the stamp set for Unto Us. So this says, sharing with you the glory, wonder, and miracle of this holy season. So I've got it. Oh, big stamp. So I'm going to take it like this, take the ink pad and go on top of it like that, instead of this and possibly missing part of a word or squishing it too much and getting too much ink on it. So the same thing, I'm going to line up my stamp and I'm going to pay attention to these grid lines. And then hopefully push down. Ta-da! Oh, so pretty. Okay, now, oh, Allison, thank you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna add a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I'm out. So let's see if I think I've got another one. Here we go. Thank goodness for the backup. This one is gonna go on the inside. I'm still gonna center it so there's a little layer of red around the outside of it. And then I'm gonna take my evening, this is actually Evening Evergreen. So I stamped with shaded spruce, but my cardstock is Evening Evergreen. But I did that because both of those colors are in this pattern paper. And I'm gonna put, oh, Allison, you're gonna like this one. We're gonna put some bling on it. We're gonna use our red rhinestones. And, oh, sorry, this is another way I use, I take your pig tools upstairs. Watch this, girls. I'm gonna add some red rhinestones. So you can use your paper snips for more than just cutting paper. 3, like I heard a demonstrator today, she said she likes to put hers in her embellishments like in a triangle. So there's a skinny little triangle. The last thing I've got to do on this is grab my dimensionals. And I've got to pay attention. Do you know why? Because if I put these like in the middle it wouldn't work. The little gatefold wouldn't work. So I'm going to put them all along. I'm going to call this the left side. Oh, good, Shirley. Yeah, you did order bling. Okay. So they're all only on one side, and push that together, center it where I want it to go. And there you have a sweet little Christmas card that's pretty easy to make. And now you know how easy it is to score and make a fancy gatefold card. I want to show you, just because I know so many of you wish you could come, like Jan and Shirley, to stamping. So I'm going to pull my camera down just a little bit more, and I'm going to show you some cards that we made. We make 5 cards at stamping. So do you remember the card that I made, gosh, a couple weeks ago with the pretty pumpkins? But on my card it had 3. I got a lot of compliments from them, so I thought I'm going to do this in my stamp class. So there again, stamped it, layered it with packing tape, so it gives the illusion of clear embossing. So Thankful for You is in the stamp set. The vanilla layer is in the Pretty Pumpkin stamp set. This vanilla layer is cut out with the stitched rectangle die. Look how cute it looks. This is actually the scallopy one. That's from the Color and Contour. It's the Color and Contour dies, which coordinates with the Color and Contour stamp set. Say that fast 3 times. But doesn't it look great? Like layered right in there. And then this layer is cinnamon cider. And if you can see, I'm going to hold it really still for a second. It is, I wanted texture on this paper outside of this. And so I used the embossing folder Pretty Flowers. So someone, if you were asking me, you would say, well, Pretty Flowers doesn't go with Pretty Pumpkins. But you really can't tell that it's flowers. It just adds texture to the outside. And then the card base was Cajun Craze. This was a really easy card. This stamp set is Snow Wonders, and it's stamped in Memento. I added a little bit of blends right here, as well as the pumpkin pie nose. The hat is light smoky slate, and then a little bit on the for the holly and berries. There's also Winka Stella to glitter her all up, because she's a snow woman. And then this DSP was from Celebration, that Peaceful Prince, which has the deers on it that you could punch out. I had so much of it left over, and I just wanted to share it with some of my friends. So this piece is a really big piece of DSP, but look, it's kind of, I called it the showstopper of the card. And this is a fantastic card if you're looking to make, like I could stamp 20 of these and color them in no time. So really the DSP does a lot of the work for you. And then of course the Winka Stella for the snow. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, I know. Let's see, where is it? The other card is, here it is. This one, I got the idea from a amazing demonstrator. Her name is Lisa Freeman. And I got the idea, pretty much almost all of this comes from Lisa, except I used the chevron weave ribbon, which is in the mini catalog. This is actually from Peaceful Cabin. So Shirley, you've got your Peaceful Cabin stamp set. We did generation stamping again. So we inked it up, stamped the 3 trees once, then without inking it up again, we stamped it again. And then Lisa shared this really cool tip. This is the Elegant Tag Punch. I stamped, "May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season." Then I punched it out with the tag. But do you see that little layer of Evening Evergreen behind it? That is the same tag punched out, and I cut it in half, and then you just get a little shadow on either side, so it gives the illusion of having another tag punch just a little bit larger. Isn't this pretty? And then Merry Christmas. I also had some of my Stampin' friends this weekend. They stamped the cabin that looks beautiful. It looks so pretty. Like if you like to add images to the inside of your cards, that looks gorgeous with this. So, and then there was another pattern. And then the other two we did tonight, the little penguin and the gatefold. So I hope you like them. This is with the Tidings and Trimmings DSP. And it's no wonder this kit was actually out last year in the catalog, and then they brought it back in the mini catalog. And pretty pumpkins, gorgeous little pumpkin. And then your gatefold. Merry Christmas to you. So hold on just a sec. Oh, oops. Hold on. You're very welcome. I'm glad. I know I forgot last month to share. Let's see if I can get it. I forgot last month to share my cards, all 5 of the cards that we made in class. So that's why I wanted to remember for those of you. Oh, you can see my fancy lighting right here. I wanted to share with all of you the other 3 cards that we made in stamp class. So thanks everyone. Thank you. Well, I always forget this. If you're placing an order of $149.99 or less, please use the host code that you saw in the video, MCYPE4CA. You'll go to my website, kimdent.stampinup.net, and that will be how I get credit for your order. If your order is $150 or more, you will receive the Stampin' Rewards, so don't use the host code. The other thing that I'm going to ask you is, if you go to my website and you're placing an order, please make sure that when you check out, you also see my name before you finalize your order. There's a crazy glitch in the system, and it sometimes will flip your order to another demonstrator, so then I would not get credit. So if you can just double check that before you're checking out, I would so greatly appreciate it. That's all I have for tonight. Have a wonderful week, everyone. God's blessings to you all. Bye-bye.